All right, what's up, Empire? Welcome to another episode of Striking Fury, where we are helping introduce you to this year's newest members of the Strykers squad. Now, on today's episode, we are getting to know a player who lit the turf on fire in the King's Cup, earning him the title of most prolific player and earning him a chance to compete in this year's combine. Now, he's a California native who played for the FC Golden State Academy U17, U18, and was a consistent starter at Pasadena City College. But his career didn't stay stateside. In 2020, he chased his dream to Europe and played in Belgium. And ultimately, he has found his way back to the Golden State and on the Empire Strikers squad. Please help me all in welcome him to our club, Bryce Watson. Bryce, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here and ready to get started.
Awesome. I love your story, and I too am excited to find out a little bit more. And so let's just start from the very beginning. What was your first exposure to the game of soccer, and when did you know that this was your dream to play?
Let's see. First exposure to soccer was definitely I had an uncle that lived in Italy his whole life. Soccer was his passion growing up, and he really put me onto the game. Growing up, I played a couple different sports, whether it was basketball, golf, football. I grew up skateboarding as well, but something about soccer just it piqued my interest at a very young age. I started playing around 4 years old. And I never looked back since. I've been one of the smaller, faster players my whole life. So it was a lot of fun dribbling past players from as long as I can remember. And that's definitely what got me here today. So
Oh, well, we're certainly glad that you're with us today. Now, talk to me a little bit about your college career and your experience with that. How did that help you to grow into the player that you are today?
the beginning of my college career, right out of high school, I ended up committing to Cal State Fullerton, a Division I school. Um, it went well. I definitely learned a lot about myself and the way I play football. Besides that, I decided to leave Cal State Fullerton and I wanted to get a little bit more playing time at a different school. So I ended up attending Pasadena City College and I played there for about a year and a half. I was captain my year there and it went very, very well. It definitely grew me as a person, as a player, and it definitely showed me that I wanted to do soccer for the rest of my life. And that being said, I didn't want to stop there. I wanted to see how far I could go. And like you said earlier, I took my talents to Europe and I played there for a couple of years. And it was very nice to finally make my dream come true in the professional game. And now I'm back home. So college definitely grew me as a person, a player, and gave me a lot more than I could have ever imagined.
Well, I no doubt. I mean, like you said, I mean, it's everyone's dream to play soccer in Europe. So let's kind of go back to that just a little bit. How did that all come about, and how were you able to kind of make that dream play, make that dream come true and play over there?
So my very first experience in Europe was right after Cal State Fullerton. I ended up going on trial with a few clubs in England. That kind of opened my eyes to how the European game is, and I unfortunately had to come back early due to visa issues. When I came back, I ended up going to Pasadena City College. So just getting on a team playing, I had to stay fit and I knew I wanted to go back to Europe. So I was trying to find any opportunity I could. I ended up having a coach that coached my little brother over in Phoenix, Arizona. He played in Belgium his professional career, and my mom was kind of bending his ear a little bit and telling him like, I have another son that wants to play professional. Do you have any opportunities for him? And he was like, yeah, like I need to see him play and this and that. Can he fly out here and play in a scrimmage? So I ended up flying to Arizona during my Pasadena City College season, and I played in one game where I scored 3 goals and had 2 assists and a 5-2 win. So he was very
Nice.
impressed, and yeah, it took off from there. He decided to send me to Belgium as soon as he could. I would say it was about 3 or 4 months later. Originally, I had a third division club trial, which I really did well during my 2 weeks there. And from there, I ended up going on trial with some first and second division clubs, where a second division club ended up picking me up, and I played there for the next 2.5 years.
Wow, what an incredible story and experience for you to be able to have that and play in Europe. Like I said, I mean, a lot of people aspire to that, and you got to live that dream.
Mhm.
Now, your talents are clearly something that are noticeable. Most recently, you compete in the Kings Cup tournament. Now, your team didn't win, but you did come out of that tournament with a piece of hardware, most prolific player. And that actually earned you a chance at competing at the combine, but you didn't even need to go because the Strykers saw your talent and they didn't want to risk losing you. So, they signed you and you're here with us today. So tell me a little bit about that day, that tournament, and how you felt winning that award. And was this your first time playing the indoor game?
So first of all, I have to thank Frank Teyu for helping me out to play in this tournament. I was in Armenia at the time when I found out about the tournament, and I was on trial with the first division club out there, and he was telling me about the tournament. He was telling me that he wants me to play with his team in the tournament. So I ended up coming down and playing, and let me tell you, like, I've grown up playing futsal and indoor my whole life, but arena soccer was definitely new to me. It wasn't anything that I couldn't adapt to, because I think my style of play, being quick and technical and aggressive on the ball, it definitely translated very well. So playing my first competitive arena soccer game in that tournament I fell in love right away. Frank definitely saw something in me a couple years ago when we met, and he had told me about it a little bit, and I never really took it serious until now. And I ended up coming and playing in that tournament and meeting the some amazing players that are also in the MASL, and being able to perform and see that I can play at this level and surpass some of these players. It just gave me a new love for the game, and something that I'm definitely looking forward to. And winning the award was something that I couldn't have imagined. I mean, I wanted to go in there and kind of have fun and just see support Frank and see what kind of accomplishments I could come out of that with. And I ended up winning that award, and that giving me the opportunity to go to the combine obviously was a blessing. And I was fully prepared to take it with open arms and see where I could go with it. And then the Emperor Strikers ended up picking me up. So I couldn't be more happy and grateful and in a blessed situation than I am now. So
Are you excited that you get to stay in California? I mean, you're very close to where you grew up. I don't know, that has to be kind of exciting for you, I would think.
yeah, 100%. I mean, my whole life I've been trying to play the professional game in front of my home city, in front of my family and friends, and I finally get to now. So this is the first time I've had 4 professional years. So this is the first time that I'll be able to play in front of my family, because they never got to travel and see me. So it's gonna be nice.
Oh, well, that makes me excited. I can't wait for the first home game. We'll get to that in just a moment. But can you tell me a little bit about what maybe some of your personal goals for the season may be?
Personal goals, first of all, I just want to help the team in whatever way I can, if that's creating in the attacking third and being some presence up there to score goals or assist goals, or it's defending and keeping a clean sheet with the back line and our goalkeeper. I'm ready to put in the work and learn as I go. Obviously, it's a new game to me, but I think 1 or 2 games I'll definitely get the hang of it. And I want to say to be specific, personal goals, I want to get on the score sheet. I want to have a good amount of goals and assists, all while being an un how do I say this? Like, I don't want to get beat 1v1. If I'm playing in the back line, I want to be a very good defensive presence. So if that's coming in from my 2-minute shift, and every shift I'm doing really well and not getting beat on the ball, or getting up the field and scoring and assisting, I wanna just prove what I could do on both ends of the pitch. So those are basically my goals.
Well, it sounds like we need to get Philly and Doctor, our play-by-play and color guy, really ready for some good creative goal calls. So maybe we'll talk about that in just a minute. I have a question about your nickname. So,
Mhm.
but before we get that, December 15th, that's our first home game. What are your thoughts going into this first matchup? Like you said, you get to play in front of your family in your hometown. You've had a chance to, I'm sure, get to know some of the squad, the head coach. Just what are your overall feelings coming into this first game in Toyota Arena?
I'm very excited. I feel like I have a really good bond with the head coach already. I know we haven't started preseason yet, but from the trainings that we've had and talks that we had, I feel like the chemistry is really there. And speaking about chemistry with the teammates, I mean, I couldn't ask for a better team. There's a lot of great guys on this squad that I definitely have good chemistry with, and I know that um I'll work hard for them just like they'll work hard for me. And coming into Toyota Arena, I'm kind of excited that it's our third or fourth game of the season. So I get to kind of get the nervousness out with the first couple games and come into Toyota Arena ready to win and just have all my nerves off and play football. So I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, we are too. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to see you out there on the turf, tearing it up, of course. So, but let's shift over to like some fun questions, some a little more kind of soccer adjacent. But my first question is, you played in Belgium. Did you learn the language ever? I'm just curious.
So they speak Dutch and French out there,
Mhm.
and I definitely had to learn a little bit of both. I lived with a family for most of my time there that spoke strictly Dutch. So I picked up a lot of their language around the house and a lot of football terms, considering my coach was Dutch and only spoke Dutch and French, barely any English. So if I wanted any type of personal bond with him, I had to learn the language. Most of my teammates were French. So French, Moroccan, Belgian, but all of them spoke French. So I had to learn Dutch to speak to my coach and the family, but French to speak to my teammates. So it was very hard for me. Those are two very hard languages to get a hold of. But when it comes to football terms, I did learn a good amount. So it was nice to be able to go and experience that.
It's an exciting perk of the job, getting to kind of experience a new language and new cultures. And I think that's one of the things that's so great about this game is just that kind of exposure, probably something a lot of people don't think about. But I was just kind of curious when I was going through that if you learn the language, and I'm not sure, it doesn't seem easy, but I'm sure you found ways to get by. Now, you grew up in California, so I have to ask, are you a beach guy? Are you a mountain guy? Are you a snow guy? What of those three things would you prefer to do on your day off?
Honestly, growing up skateboarding, I would say I'm more of a snow guy because I did grow up snowboarding as well. So those kind of translate into each other. But as far as the beach, I mean, I love the beach, but I don't go often at all living in California. I lived most of my life towards LA, so not exactly a beach city. Obviously, it's very close, but I never I wouldn't say on my off time I would go to the beach. So I would definitely say probably snow if I had to pick out of those three.
All right, all right. Okay, now I know this answer also, but I'm gonna ask you anyways. Favorite club team and a player that inspired you growing up.
Favorite club team is Chelsea FC. I got the I got the opportunity to watch them train at UCLA when I was around 12 years old and 12 or 10, something like that. And um Drogba was on the team at the time, and he actually shot a ball over the goal that hit me, and he ended up giving me his training top. So ever since then, I've been a Chelsea fan. Shout out Drogba, thank you for that. But yeah, since then I've been a Blues fan, and then players that I grew up watching that have inspired me, definitely Brazilian players, so Ronaldinho, Neymar, Robinho, all of those players with some flair and they like to express themselves on the field. I definitely translated that over to my game, and it's made me fall more in love with the game than I ever have. So yeah.
All right. Well, I'm an Arsenal fan over here,
Oh,
so it's lucky our last game, ended in that nice little 2-2 draw. So
yeah.
no one here can really talk about the other. So we'll see how the season goes. But another thing I want to ask you. So explain. I kind of have an idea of where it's going, but your nickname, Ankle Bully. Talk to me about that.
So growing up playing street football or on the pitch, I've always expressed myself in 1v1 scenarios. So I got a reputation of beating players 1v1 and essentially breaking their ankles when we're going 1v1 with skills or speed or whatever it may be. So that nickname came across, I would say around 16, 17 years old, somewhere in high school, and it's just stuck ever since.
I love it. Out there breaking ankles. You are an ankle bully. That's probably going to stick with you for a long time. I can't wait to hear those goal calls calling that out. So
Mm.
that's going to be a fun one. Now, a couple more questions. I'm told one of your favorite pastimes outside of soccer is golf. So how often do you say you get to play? I mean, California is great for that, especially since you can play it almost all year round. I mean, I myself love golf. I mean, I'm not great at it, but it's fun to still get out there and let out some frustrations. Have you gotten much time to play recently? And who are your favorite golfers that you like to watch?
Well, favorite golfers. I mean, growing up, I watched Tiger Woods, and um, he definitely gave me some excitement in golf to watch. Golf, it just I fell in love with it because it's so different than soccer. I definitely get to take my time, and it's a stress relief for me, I think. So my uncle who introduced me to soccer also golfed, so he also introduced me to that, and it was just pastime. We would go all the time growing up. I did lessons and tournaments since I was 8 to like 18 years old. When I decided to take soccer seriously, I kind of toned it down a little bit and made it kind of just a weekend thing to get my mind away from soccer. But recently I haven't been able to go too much since I just got back from Europe. But now that I'm back, I'm definitely going to start that back up again and go out there and to some of these beautiful courses that they have out here and
Absolutely.
get my mind off some stuff. So
It definitely does that. I know after a stressful day of work, it was always nice just to go out there, even for like, a front nine or a back nine, just hit some balls and just whatever, you just let it all out, leave it out there. So I love that. We'll have to do some, hit some balls when we get the chance to in the off
would
season. So,
love to. Would love to.
all right. Is there one thing about you that might surprise people?
Um, if we're talking soccer wise, I would say I think my speed and aggressiveness is gonna surprise some people, whether it's fans or other teams. I don't think they look at my height and think maybe I won't be as much of a presence as I will be, but I'm excited to show them what I could do. And yeah, I would say that.
Love that. Love that. Well, I'm excited for you to show that as well. Before we close out, is there anything that you would like to say to the fans that are watching this right now?
To the fans, I'm just excited to be here and excited to put in 200% effort to win every game that I play in and every game that get our team ready for the games that I don't play in. I want to say that we're gonna have some exciting games coming up, and I'm definitely gonna do my best to entertain and work hard on the pitch. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to the support from all you guys as well.
Well, you'll definitely have it, at least on our end. I know for sure. I cannot wait. December 15th, first home game. Everybody's gonna see what you're talking about, and I can't wait. So thank you so much for joining me today and giving us a little bit of your history and letting everybody get to know you a little better. And welcome to the Empire Squad.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure. Can't wait to get started.
Absolutely. All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.